Being positive in a negative situation begins with understanding that your mindset shapes your reality more than the situation itself. Many people think positivity means ignoring problems, but in truth it means facing them with hope, faith, and patience. Mufti Menk often reminds us that a believer sees every difficulty as either a blessing in disguise or an opportunity to grow if you believe that Allah's plan is always for your ultimate good, even when you cannot see it. Then no negative situation can fully break you. This belief allows you to respond with calmness instead of panic and with trust instead of despair. The first step to staying positive is to constantly remind yourself that Allah is in control and nothing happens without His wisdom and mercy. When you are surrounded by negativity, it is easy to absorb it and let it poison your thoughts. That is why it is important to protect your heart and mind from constant exposure to harmful influences, just as you would avoid eating food that is rotten. You must avoid feeding your soul with negativity. Means limiting your interaction with people who constantly complain or bring you down, and replacing that with environments that inspire you. The Quran teaches us to keep the company of those who remember Allah often, because their presence strengthens your faith. Being in good company makes it easier to remain hopeful, even when everything around you looks dark. A powerful way to maintain positivity in a negative situation is to focus on gratitude. Gratitude does not erase pain, but it shifts your attention from what is wrong to what is still right. Every day make it a habit to list even the smallest blessings in your life, such as being able to breathe, walk, eat, and pray. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said that whoever wakes up safe in his home, healthy in his body, and with food for the day has been given the entire world. Gratitude trains your heart to find light, even in the middle of darkness, and that light helps you stay strong. Another important step is to control your self-talk. What you say to yourself in tough times will either lift you up or pull you deeper into negativity. If you keep telling yourself that things will never get better, your heart will start to believe it. But if you remind yourself of Allah's promises in the Quran that after hardship comes ease, your heart will find hope. Speaking to yourself with various kindness, patience, and faith is not self-deception. It is a way of guiding your thoughts towards resilience and trust in Allah's plan. When facing negativity, try to shift your perspective instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is Allah teaching me through this? This change in mindset turns problems into lessons and suffering into a chance to grow spiritually. Sometimes a negative situation is Allah's way of redirecting you towards something better or protecting you from harm you cannot see yet. By looking for the wisdom in every hardship, you protect yourself from hopelessness and then keep your faith alive. It also helps to focus on what you can control rather than obsessing over what you cannot. You cannot control the weather, other people's behavior, or the unexpected trials life throws at you. But you can control your reaction, your prayers, your patience, and your efforts. The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught us to tie our camel and then trust in Allah, meaning we must do our part and leave the rest to Him. This balance between action and trust is the key to staying positive without becoming reckless or passive. In moments of negativity, remember to use the power of your prayer. It is not just about asking Allah for things, it is also about connecting your heart to Him and finding comfort in His presence. When you pour out your worries to Allah, you release the burden you are carrying alone and allow Him to guide your steps. This connection brings peace even before your situation changes, because you know you are not facing it alone. Mufti Menk often says that when you have Allah by your side, your problems may not disappear instantly, but your strength to face them will grow. A practical way to keep your positivity alive is to limit your exposure to constant bad news. While it is important to be aware of what is happening in the world, you should avoid drowning yourself in negativity from media and social networks. Too much bad news can make you feel helpless and hopeless. Instead, balance it by reading inspiring stories, listening to uplifting lectures, and surrounding yourself with reminders of Allah's mercy. This keeps your heart strong and able to face challenges without losing hope. Staying positive also means taking care of physical health. Tired body and mind make it harder to think clearly or stay hopeful. Simple things like eating well, getting enough sleep, and exercising can boost your mood and energy, allowing you to approach problems with a clearer mind. The Prophet, peace be upon him, encouraged a balanced lifestyle that nurtures both the body and the soul. Neglecting your health in a negative situation will only make it harder to cope. So caring for yourself becomes an act of worship. Lastly, to remain positive in a negative situation, keep reminding yourself of the temporary nature of this world. Every hardship has an expiry date and no pain lasts forever. The Quran promises that with every hardship comes ease, not after, but with it, which means the seeds of relief are already present in your trial. Holding on to this truth allows you to keep walking forward even when the path is steep, because you know that the end will bring light and reward from Allah. One of the most effective ways to remain positive during a negative situation is to actively seek out the good in people and circumstances. Even in the harshest of conditions, there are moments of kindness and signs of hope. Sometimes they are small, like a smile from a stranger or a helping hand when you need it. But they remind you that Allah sends help in many forms. By training your eyes to notice these signs, you shift your focus away from the darkness and towards the light. This mindset not only keeps you strong, but also inspires others to find hope in their own struggles. Another important point is to stop comparing your situation with others. Comparison often steals joy and makes you feel worse about your trials. Everyone's journey is unique, and you may not see the hidden challenges others are facing. The Quran reminds us not to envy what Allah has given some over others, because His distribution of blessings and tests is based on His perfect wisdom instead of thinking, why is their life easier? Focus on what can I learn from my situation, and how can I draw closer to Allah through it. This shift in focus nurtures contentment and protects you from bitterness in times of negativity. It helps to immerse yourself in acts of service. Helping others can transform your mindset, because it moves you from focusing solely on your own problems to contributing to the well-being of others. Whether it is feeding someone in need, listening to a friend in distress, or volunteering your time, you will find that serving others fills your heart with purpose and gratitude. The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught that the most beloved people to Allah are those who are most beneficial to others. This benefit often comes back to you in the form of renewed positivity, and it is also important to practice patience with yourself. Sometimes in a negative situation, you might feel frustrated that you are not handling it perfectly. You might expect yourself to always be strong, but the reality is that you are human, and it is normal to have moments of sadness or weakness. Mufti Menk often reminds us that feeling down does not mean you have weak faith. What matters is that you keep turning back to Allah, even when it is hard. Being gentle with yourself allows you to recover faster and maintain a hopeful mindset. Surrounding yourself with reminders of Allah's words is another powerful way to remain positive. Listening to Quran recitation, reading tafsir, and reflecting on Allah's promises can lift your spirits instantly. The Quran is described as a healing for the hearts, and it has the power to calm you. Even when your situation has not changed, you might find that one verse speaks directly to what you are going through and gives you the strength to carry on. Holding on to these reminders keeps your heart firm when everything else feels uncertain. Sometimes the best way to stay positive is to simplify your life. Negative situations often make us feel overwhelmed because we are juggling too many responsibilities and worries. Taking a step back to simplify your routines and focus on the essentials can give you the mental space to deal with your challenges more calmly. This may mean decluttering your home, reducing unnecessary commitments, or creating a daily routine that prioritizes prayer, rest, and reflection. A simpler life allows more room for positivity to grow. It is also helpful to focus on the present moment. A lot of negativity comes from replaying the past or worrying about the future. But when you choose to live in the present, you deal only with what is in front of you right now, and that is often far less overwhelming than your imagination makes it. The Prophet, peace be upon him, advised us to take advantage of 5 things before 5, including our free time before we become busy. By valuing each moment, You reduce unnecessary stress and strengthen your resilience. Keeping a journal of your thoughts and prayers can also be a powerful tool. Writing down your feelings helps you release built-up stress and gives you a clearer perspective on your challenges. It also allows you to record the ways Allah has helped you in the past, so you can revisit them. When you need encouragement, this record becomes a source of hope because it reminds you that just as Allah has brought you through before, He can do it again. Another strategy for staying positive is to limit arguments and unnecessary conflicts. Negativity often increases when we get caught up in disputes that drain our energy and harm our relationships. Choosing peace over proving a point can save you from a lot of stress. The Prophet, peace be upon him, promised a house in paradise for the one who gives up arguing, even if they are right. Letting go of such conflicts frees your heart to focus on what truly matters and keeps your spirit lighter. Finally, remember that sometimes the most powerful positivity is silent. Trust in Allah. You do not always need to loudly declare your hope. Sometimes it is enough to quietly hold it in your heart. Trust that Allah sees your struggles, hears your prayers, and knows your pain. This quiet confidence can be more powerful than any outward display because it roots your heart in unshakable faith. Such trust is the foundation that allows true positivity to survive even the most negative storms. Another way to strengthen positivity in a negative situation is to remind yourself that trials often come before great blessings. Many of the most inspiring stories in Islamic history involve individuals who faced enormous challenges before receiving Allah's relief and reward. Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him, endured years of hardship, betrayal, and imprisonment before Allah elevated him to a position of great honor. These stories are not just history, they are guidance, showing us that our own hardships can be the doorway to something far greater. Holding on to this understanding allows you to look beyond the pain of today and anticipate the mercy of tomorrow.